Hey, so I just came from the park and I had a decent conversation with this older gentleman, and I wasn't expecting it. And that's the whole point of this video entirely, is you'll receive the message or the advice or the guidance that you need to hear in times where you least expect it, in places where you least expect it, from people that you least expected. This older man that I talked to, during our conversation, I found out he was a deacon at a church, and that's great, that's dandy. I'm not a religious person whatsoever. He did try to get me to come down to his church and trying to convert me, but I told him I'm not a big religious person, and I even explained to him that I wasn't a big religious person. But I do have a connection to God. I'm very spiritual. And so when he gave me this message, I felt like it was so needed, because I was listening to a video and she was saying like how we should just go out and do things and use our resources that we have now. Like, don't wait. Like she said, if you wanted to do a YouTube channel and you waited until you have this $600-$700 cameras to start posting, you don't have to wait. You could literally just set up your phone like I'm doing right now and just go for it. Just don't wait. And she was talking about like the new moon in Taurus and stuff. And so I wanted to kind of know what themes that I was going to experience. And when she was saying like just go for it, just do it, because you never know, you want something and you have it in this set plan, it's supposed to be in this set package, but you're kind of closing yourself off to other possibilities, and you just never know. You might feel like in order for you to experience freedom in your time or with your finances, you gotta have like 1 million followers, when in actuality that's not true. And she was speaking from her own personal experience. She was like, I don't have 1 million followers, but I got what I was looking for, and I just went ahead and did it. And so when this man stopped and talked to me, he also touched on divine timing. Now, he didn't use the words divine timing. He was using, I think he said like chronos time or something like that. I don't have me lying on this man's name. Don't have me mispronouncing stuff. But I could receive it, because I literally saw, I was like, this is spirit talking through this man to me. Like, what are the odds that I'm sitting here watching this video, hearing this reader, this nice person telling me all this themes and stuff that I should be expecting for the new moon, and even just having me reflect on where I am and like truly enjoying the present moment and stuff. And then this man decides to stop and have a conversation with me, and he's speaking on the same thing. And even this morning when I got up, I did a little scroll on social media. I wasn't supposed to, but I did it. And I even saw an Instagram post saying like, this is the moment where things could change. Like, at any moment things could change. And I was like, yeah, that's very true. Like, you just never know. And I truly enjoyed the conversation. It was a message I needed to hear. It gave me more faith in what I was doing, for sure. Because I'm being resourceful. I'm using the tools that I have now to pursue the things that I always wanted to pursue. I have the faith that it's going to take me where I want to go, and I have the trust within myself that what I'm speaking is meant for somebody else. Like, it might not be life-changing. It might be just that message they needed to like keep going, to keep pushing. Just like how the message the man at the park passed on to me, I was like, that's my message to keep going. Like, I'm waiting on things to play out on my time, when in reality, the only control I have of the situation is showing up and doing what I was called to do. And just constantly showing up, constantly putting these videos out, and just constantly standing in my truth, standing in my authenticity, I can have trust in that, because that's what I was told. That's what you need to do right here in this moment. I don't need to focus on where it's going to take me. I don't need to focus on the outcome, because for a while that was all I would be focused on. I would be like, okay, I felt called to do this, and I can't wait until, you know, I have my community. I can't wait until it's you know, sustaining the life that I want to have for myself. I can't wait. That statement, that I can't wait, it shows a lack of patience. And in that statement within itself, I feel like it shows a lack of trust, because you're not living in the present. You're not enjoying what you're doing right here, right now. Me thinking like, oh, I can't wait until this happened, that happened. I'm not really in the process of enjoying what I desire to do. Just like how when I was living with my mom, or just even being in my esthetician career, because I was an esthetician for a while, and I loved it. I would always be thinking, oh, I can't wait until I move out. I can't wait until, you know, maybe I find the one. I can't wait until I have this amount of money in my account. I can't wait. And then I move out my mom's house. I find the one. And in these spaces of things that I manifested, that came in divine timing, mind you. It came when I was in a space of, you know, healing from toxic relationships and connecting to my spirituality. That's when that stuff came. And when I decided that I don't want to focus on dating, I just want to focus on myself, that's when my person came. And with my person came the space I'm in now, where I'm not under my mom's roof, where I feel like I'm stepping in the right direction within my womanhood. And last year, and even up until like a week ago, I was so focused on, I can't wait to move out this city. I can't wait to, you know, have a better home to stay in. I can't wait. But in me saying that stuff, I was completely neglecting the fact that I was living in something I manifested for so long. And I wasn't giving it the proper appreciation. I wasn't feeling grateful for all the things that was coming into my life now. I wasn't 822, as I said that. I wasn't grateful for the man that was in my life. You know, I wasn't seeing him as, oh, I manifested you. I wanted somebody to actually love me and actually treat me with respect and see me as this queen. See me as somebody they want to spend the rest of their life with. I was kind of taking that for granted. Or I wasn't seeing that this place that I'm in, I was like, this is my first quote unquote home. I'm making this house feel like a home, and this is my space. Or even with my man came his son. I was so caught up in like, oh, I didn't think this was going to be like this. I wasn't expecting to take on this much responsibility, But I'm like, I see the purpose of it all now. I'm like, I look at my man's son, and I'm just like, you're practice for me. Like, I'm not gonna sit here and try to be a mother to you. You already have a mother, and I respect that. And I'm gonna let her do what she want when it comes to you, because you're her child. I'm not trying to take her spot, but I'm still a mother figure in his eyes, and that's preparing me for when I have my own children. And that's teaching me patience. That's teaching me how I can still work on things for myself, because interacting with him, oh, my nose running, hold on 1 second. Okay, I'm back. But interacting with him, it teaches me that like the patience I thought I had when it came to children, non-existent. Or I get so easily overwhelmed because I had this ideal version of what I thought raising a child or being a helping hand and raising a child would be like, and now I'm experiencing it for real. I'm like, oh, it's tough. I feel like I'm in a mother role without actually bearing my own children, and to me that's a blessing, because I'm like, this is practice, and I wasn't seeing the beauty in the space that I was in now. I wasn't taking the time to slow down. I was like living either in the past or living in the future. And that's something me and the man talked about. I was like, I feel like a lot of people nowadays are always on the go, when in order for you to receive the message you're meant to receive, you have to slow down. 1:11, as I said, that you have to slow down. You have to look in the space that you're in now, and you have to find things that you're grateful for, because you have to realize you might not be in your quote unquote dream life, but you're in a prayer or you're in a manifestation that you wanted so bad when maybe you were at your very lowest. And that's beautiful. Like when you actually take the time to ground yourself in reality. Be like, I'm right here. I'm in this chair. I'm talking to my camera. I'm hearing my cats play. Cats. I have 2 cats. I've always wanted cats, but I've never had cats. You know, I've always wanted pets, but we didn't really get pets until like I was in 5th or 6th grade, and then we found our dog, and he's been with us. He's still rocking with us. He is old, okay? But I've always wanted a cat. I've always wanted multiple pets, and that came unexpectedly. That came in this relationship. Like last year we got our first cat. We was just coming back from a cruise. We wasn't even thinking about a pet. I mean, we talked about how we wanted cats, but we wasn't thinking about it. And then my man went to work and he said, yeah, this lady I work with, she had, her cats had kittens, and so she gave me a free cat. I'm like, what? And now we became cat parents like that overnight. I wasn't even expecting it. And even with our second cat, we got her day after Valentine's Day this year, and she's older than our first cat. She's like a couple of months older than our first cat. And I thought it was so meant to be, because we were out and we was just kind of like roaming the streets, you know, not really doing much. We went out to eat, we went here, we went there, and then my man was like, I want to get myself a gift, because his birthday also not his birthday, we were in February. He was like, I want to get myself a gift, you know. And I was like, all right, what you want to get yourself? He's like, I want a cat. And I was like, okay, we go to a cat shelter. We went to the first one. The first one was crazy. She was asking for like dang near our social security. She wanted to meet the whole family. It was a whole interview process. I was like, ma'am. And then we decided to go to the Humane Society, and that's where we saw our second baby, and I immediately fell in love with her. People at the shelter was like, yeah, she's our favorite and stuff like that. And mind you, I said we got her day after Valentine's Day. Her birthday, she literally just turned 1 February 13th. So I just felt like it was just meant. It was, the synchronicities was crazy. I'm sorry, I'm just stuttering, because between the message that I got at the park, message I got on YouTube, I'm just like, I have so much renowned faith in what I'm doing. and it's pushing me to want to go further, because it might not look, my blessings might not look how I want them to look. It might not come wrapped up in the package that I want them to come wrapped up, and that's fine. Release that control. Let that control go. Get out that masculine energy of do, action, action, action. If it's not this way, it's the highway. Get out that masculine energy, because that's my biggest thing I'm struggling with in this season. Learning to accept what comes to me in a feminine way. Like, feminine energy is all about being able to receive, but then also being able to give in the most creative ways, or the most nurturing ways. And for so long, I was always over giving. I'm a huge nurturer. I love to help people. I love to give to people. I love to make people feel seen. But I was giving, and doing. But I wasn't giving myself the time or the space to properly receive anything back, because my heart was closed off. But even now, like when I was listening to the guy at the park, I was thinking, if I was just in my head, if I was always on the go, just heavily in my masculine energy, I wouldn't be able to properly receive the message he was giving me. Yeah, I'm not a religious person, but he said some really good things. He said some gems that I say, or that I've heard other people say, and I'm just like, this is what I needed to get me through this season. And he even mentioned how we always go through dry seasons, dry spells. Like, that's just how it is. That's just life. But you can't give up. You have to realize, like, you're not alone. You always have spirit with you. And that's something I feel like I came to terms with. I was like, even in my darkest times where I felt like I was truly alone, I wasn't alone. I had spirit. It was just, I was always on the go. I was so heavily in my fast life. I was so heavy in my ego that I couldn't properly hear them. I was drowning them out. Because at the time, I didn't like being by myself. I like to be surrounded by people. I like to, have fun. I felt like if I was at home by myself, I was missing out. I had huge FOMO. I was like, this is boring. But when I had no other choice but to isolate myself, because everything was falling apart, that's when I started to feel the magic of the divine. And even now, as I'm slowing down again and tapping back into my spiritual roots, I'm starting to see the magic in the divine again. And I'm just like, I don't know how I ever doubted this. I don't know how I ever doubted myself. I don't know how I ever doubted spirit, doubted God, doubted universe, whatever you want to address them as. I don't know how I ever doubted this magic that was always there, but I was just going way too fast to even acknowledge it. I'm gonna let that soak. I'm gonna let that sit on y'all spirit. Don't close yourself out. Like, don't close yourself off to certain messages just because it's not coming from the person you expected it to come from, or it doesn't look how you expected it to look. I can literally hear spirit talking through my man's son. I can literally, some things he say at the time, I don't be like present in it, but then when I'm reflecting on my day, his words just like ring in my head. I was like, look, man, on the song. I was like, man, that wasn't nothing but spirit speaking through him to me. Or just like that, the older gentleman at the park, that wasn't nothing but spirit speaking through that man to me. And if I was so in my head, I would have missed it. Because yeah, there were some things the gentleman said that I didn't agree with whatsoever. And that could have been the thing that had me close off my heart space, you know, close my ears, have his words go through one ear and out the other. But I stayed present in a moment. I was like, I'm actually connecting with somebody. Like, I'm having a conversation with somebody. It's a nice conversation. I'm enjoying his presence. Like, I'm actually seeing, he's telling me about his life back in the 70s. You know, he letting me in on some things. He think he teaching me some game. Trust me, I've been around some older people and I've seen the game. But like, to actually hear how this person felt at that time, or them telling their story, I'm just like, this is something magical. This is what being human is all about. Like, having those moments of humanity where you know you can just talk to your fellow neighbor or talk to a stranger and have a good conversation and leave with some knowledge that you didn't have prior to that conversation or prior to that interaction. And you walk away, y'all both walk away feeling fulfilled. Y'all both walk away with a smile on your face. Y'all both telling each other, have a great day. I enjoyed talking to you. I would have missed all of that if I didn't slow down. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. I needed to get that out. I was talking about it to myself in the car, and I was gonna do an audio journal on it, but I was like, no, I'm gonna save it. And I'm gonna just speak to it. I'm speak about it in front of the camera. So yeah, I hope y'all enjoy the rest of y'all day. I will enjoy the rest of mine. Yeah, bye.